Hi book lovers, it's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen's Reading Room, and this is my weekly wrap up for September 26th.
Busted!
It wasn't too bad a reading week for me this week. I read 6 books and I read some really good books, so let's get started. Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wine. I really loved this book. 5-star read. I've only heard good things about this book, and that's why I finally picked it up from my library to read it. The story is, I would call it more historical fiction, and it is about World War II. It's about these 2 girls. I'm not sure it ever really says their age in the book, but I assume they were somewhere around 18 or 19 because they are working. They're part of the war effort itself, so you would think they would be old enough for that, but it's also World War II, and I don't really know. But this book basically highlights what women did for World War II and sacrificed for their country. Both of these girls are from the UK. It's divided into 2 parts, and the first half is from one girl's point of view, which is most of the book, and then the second part of the book is told from her friend's point of view. The main character, it takes a long time to get into the story before you even know her name. She has actually been captured in France by Germany, and she's being tortured she's a spy, and so they're torturing her to get information out of her, and she's kind of losing it, and so she's writing this long confession, and this is basically her confession. And basically you start to figure out, her name is Julie, but it takes a while to even know that. Her code name is actually Verity, which means truth. So she's captured, and she's giving this long description. And in it, she talks about her and her friend Maddie, who is a pilot, and she's flown her into France for this mission, and it crash landed, and they got separated, and then Julie got captured. So her confession is mostly about her and Maddie and their friendship, and it's just really moving. And then of course you think that you've got all the facts because Julie's telling us this, she's writing this confession, and then we go to Maddie's point of view, and it's a whole different story than what you thought. So it's really great. The twists in it are amazing, and it's hard to know even what's happening because she's a spy, so lots of things are not what they seem. But yeah, it's a very sad ending, but it's World War II, so you kind of figured it would be. But I really loved it, and I loved how it highlighted the friendship between them, and then of course what it took for these women to survive in this kind of a world. So yeah, it's all fiction, but it's based upon what some women did do in World War II. But the entire book and facts and figures, almost everything is fiction for legal purposes. But it's still just an amazing book, and I really, really loved it and gave it 5 stars. Angel Evolution by David Estes. This is the first book in his Angel trilogy, and actually this is the first book that he wrote. So this is his debut novel, and he has come so far. In reading this, I just read just a few days ago The Earth Dwellers, which is his most recent novel, and they are just night and day. He has improved so much, but I really did enjoy the story. I gave it 3 stars. It was just, I caught a few things here and there that things didn't flow so well, and things like that, but I knew it was a debut novel, and so I kind of knew that going into it. But as far as the actual story and the angels and demons part and all that, I really did enjoy that. I love angel stories, and they're so much fun, and I haven't read one in a little while, so I will finish the rest of the trilogy. I'm interested to find out what happens, and yeah, it was a really entertaining story, and I liked it. The Earth Dwellers by David Estes. This book was amazing. 5-star read, my favorite David Estes book so far. Yeah, it was a great finale to 2 great series, and it was just so epic, and I loved it. It had all of the main characters from all the books, which was just awesome. We got several different points of view, which was really cool. The main points of view we got was Tristan, Adele, and Sienna. we might have gotten a little bit of Sadie and Huck. I can't. The epilogue, we got just about everybody's main character's point of view. So yay, it was really good. There are some pretty brutal deaths, which was sad and made me kind of angry for a little while, but by the end I was okay with what had happened. It felt realistic, and it just served to prove how evil King Lecter was, or President Lecter, I guess, and although King wasn't far off. And I had goosebumps through most of it. I had all kinds of feels. It was just really, really good. I probably, hopefully by this point that this video airs, I've written a review for this, and I will link it below so you can read my more coherent thoughts, because it's hard to put into a video. So yeah, but definite 5-star read, and I am really excited for David's new series that comes out. Well, we're not sure exactly when it's going to come out, but it's a new dystopian series on witches, so I'm excited about that too. And we get a sneak peek in this of that book. We also get some short stories, which I'd read one, but I hadn't read the other two, so that was cool. And we got an interview with Perry the Prickler, which somehow I missed and didn't read. But so yeah, there's all kinds of fun extras in this too. So there's a lot of content in just one book, so it was great. I really loved it. Then, The Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place, The Unseen Guest by Mary Rose Wood. This is the third book in the series. I thought this might be the end of the series, but it's not. The next one hasn't been released yet, but this ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger. So there is going to be at least one more book to the series, so yay. I think these books seem to get better and better. I liked this one better than the last two. It was another good 4-star read. It's a great children's book. This one opens up all kinds of mysteries, which we had in the previous two, and basically where the children really come from and who is trying to harm them, because someone is. So yeah, I have my suspicions, but we didn't find out. We found a little bit. We didn't find out exactly what's going on yet. So the plot thickens. We got more and more twists and more characters that kind of drop bombshells on us in this book. So this one was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. Good 4-star read. Shadows by Ilsa J. Bick. This is the sequel to Ashes. I can't really decide if I like this more or less than Ashes. The second half of the book was really good, and left us on a pretty big cliffhanger. So I'm going to be reading Monsters with my friends, the final book in the trilogy, this weekend. So yay, I'm excited to find out how this all happens. But it's very, very, very gruesome. One of the more gross books I've read, I think. The first half of it anyway. The second half wasn't as bad, but yeah, made me not want to eat any meat for a while. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. We got lots of different points of view in this one, and at times I was a little bit confused, but it all tied together pretty well in the end, I think. And I am generally concerned for many characters in this, and it left on a pretty big cliffhanger, and yeah, I'm excited to read the last book and find out what happens with this series. We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. This is the third and final book in the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy series. And I'm kind of glad I'm done now. You know, I really do like summer contemporaries, and maybe because it's starting to feel like fall here, I don't really feel like I'm in the mood to read summer books. I'm part of the problem, but I did like this book better than the second book. I thought the second book was kind of stupid. I mean, I did give it 4 stars, and I'm not quite sure why. I think just because it hooked me enough to finish it. And any book that can hook me and draw me in like that, I usually give a decent star rating, because there's something to be said for that. Whatever book it is, anything that can suck you in really well is worth some good stars. So this one I liked a lot better, because it deals really with how stupid these kids are. And it pretty much calls them out on it, which the previous two I don't think it did. But I don't like how things turned out in the very end of it, because it should have not ended like that, and I don't want to give away exactly how it ends. So if you're not real big, if you like contemporary reads but aren't big on the whole drama factor or love triangles, I would not recommend this trilogy. Now, if you want to just kind of laugh added. It's entertaining in that way. I don't know. I don't know if I would really recommend it to anybody per se. I guess it just depends. Probably a lovesick teenager would love it. So that's my weekly wrap up for this last week. I'm hoping to read even more books next week. We will see. So yeah, it was a pretty good week. I hope you guys had one too. Talk to you later. Bye.
Busted.